Themba, your reactions to Ntseki?
Mixed feelings. As a brother, a good man, but the bottom line is that this is football and this is work. The deliverables were not met, and what happened had to happen. Although I've got some serious questions which were not answered in terms of the processes that were used in terms of dealing with the whole sacking that just happened. And from my side, I think he's a good man, and he could have been more of a bigger asset in South African football had he been kept even with the younger, structures, in fact smaller structures in terms of the development structures and all of that. I think it's a sad day for him, and it's a sad day more for the South African Football Association for what we've just witnessed here. I mean, from my side, I think it doesn't fit. I mean, if one can ask openly, as a president, you're supposed to be there. This is a national matter. This is the biggest matter in South African football, that the coach has been sacked. The president has to be here. But do we see him? No, he's not here. So it means that he doesn't take us serious as a country. This is just my honest opinion. I'm disappointed at the president that he had to send the two gentlemen who hosted us, who I've got no problem with, but it would have been much nicer had we pointed all the arrows towards the target, who is the president at this stage.
Was the CEO evasive answering some of the questions that were directed towards him?
Remember that the CEO is an advocate. he's a law personnel, so he had to be evasive on some of the matters, and I don't blame him, to an extent, because he that's why he's here. From what you get here, I could easily say, as a layman, to say that the SAFA CEO position is on the hands of a clever person, because he knows how to run away from core matters that any other person would have just blown out, abruptly and said, yeah, this is not that, But he's so evasive when it comes to pressing matters. And by the way, I look at where we're heading in SAFA, I just wish that the leadership would come down to our level and come answer to such questions, not the CEO, because personally I wanted the president, and I've had quite a few chunks of bone to chew with him, but unfortunately didn't make it. But the CEO and the head of technical committee, I think they did their best. I might not say they were too evasive, but I think they did their best to give us the little that we wanted. The rest we can conclude for ourselves, because in the absence of true and straightforward answers, the mind then starts creating its own answers.
Running away from questions that people have, is that a good thing for SAFA?
Yes and no. Yes and no, in a sense that we need such people with brilliance, natural brilliance in such top positions. But at some stage you need to come down and give the reality of the matter and give it first preference and dish it out as it is. That we've dismissed the coach, we've come here, these are the reasons he didn't meet the requirements, 1, 2, 3, done, and then we get out of it. Because once you start being evasive, it looks more like you are hiding something, and then you open it up to us, the members of the media, to start speculating, and then the speculation blows everything out of proportion. But from my side, I think the CEO did what he's here to do, and more especially protect the brand, yes, South African Football Association. But from who, I'm not sure, because the South African constituencies want to hear what the CEO has to say. Himself as a brother, nothing wrong with him, but when he sits on that chair and wear the CEO hat, he becomes that person who would not answer you straight and direct. My question was to him, just give us a recap of the contractual of the contract, the time frame. When was he employed? How long has he served? All of that. Did he answer me? No. So it should tell you that it's one of those where the defensive mode comes into play when pressed against the ropes.
Okay. SAFA have fired a coach without a successor in mind. Would you say that that's being irresponsible, or they are taking their time, considering World Cup qualifiers are literally around the corner?
I don't buy that. Personally, I don't buy that. that's all hogwash. You can't fire a coach without having a replacement in mind. What's going to happen to those World Cup qualifiers and everything else, just building up the team going forward? I mean, they know who they want, they know who they have, and most of all, they know who they are talking to already, if not concluded that they're talking to so and so. So it should tell you that we are led by an organization which is not just on a finger snap. But this is an organization that is led by people who think, people who go forward and make things, in a succession plan, except for one succession plan that we have never seen happening. But in this case, I don't buy the story that SAFA can fire a coach without knowing very well that where are we going from here. So it was just, a blanket approach to say, yeah, it's a dismissal, we're just covering this and going forward. Sizobona Pambil. Retabona Kopil, it does not work in football. It's a game of processes.